Welcome to another adventure in real estate. Today we're going to jump into our market summary. We try to every month go through kind of what's happened previous month, and kind of give you just a brief picture of what's going on in this real estate market. So, January, homes still sold, guys. Homes still sold. There were still new homes that came on the market, so things are continuing to move. Maybe not quite at the pace that maybe we would have seen in previous months, but we've talked about things in the past, and specifically we get in the last couple of months, inventory has continued to go down, and so from that standpoint, when you've got a smaller inventory, I think it's fair to see that you've just got a smaller number of homes sold. So when we look at the actual numbers and we break things down here a little bit, January of 2026. Greater Roanoke Valley, 293 homes sold in the Greater Roanoke Valley. These are residential home sales in Roanoke Valley. If you were to compare that to January of 25, 307. So we're just slightly below where we were January a year ago. And then 5 years ago, we go back to January of 2021, we were at 390. And the market, the pace of the market is nowhere near where it was when we look at right after COVID and what happened in those year 2021, 2022, and even 23. When you look at what was going on as far as the overall pace of the market. You break this down, that Greater Roanoke Valley, we break that down into specifics of Franklin County. 43 homes sold in Franklin County in 2026. That's compared to 37 a year ago and 55 5 years ago. Smith Mountain Lake, residential property. This is water frontage. 13 homes sold in January of 2026. Compare that to 20 in 2025 and 22 in 2021. So, again, when you're looking at things, I think when you look at month-to-month comparisons like that, there may be some things. There's not much difference in the market in Smith Mountain Lake and waterfront homes. For the month of January, that's probably fair, but I think if we were to grab a few more months and look at some things, you would see that the pace of the market has slowed down. For those homes that sold in 2026, that 293 homes, the cumulative days on market for those homes was 68. That's how many, from the time it comes on the market, the time that it goes off, 68 days on market is what we're looking at. And if you were to compare that to where we were a year ago with those same 307 homes, we're 53. So we're roughly 15 days longer on market in January of 2026 than we were in January of 2025. I'm going to switch gears here real quick. We're going to jump over to land. We do a lot of land sales here at Mountain to Lake Realty and the Kingery team. And when you look at land is still moving. But I think the general theme is things have slowed down. They've slowed down here. If you were to make a comparison, you're looking at January of 2026, we sold 40 land parcels throughout the Roanoke Valley. That's 62 compared to 62 that would have happened in January of 2025 just a year ago. And if you were to look at 5 years ago, we're almost half at 84. So 84 5 years ago compared to 40 is what we did in this January. A similar trend when you break it down into smaller in Franklin County and even Smith Mountain Lake, these waterfront homes, our waterfront properties. This is all land sales here, but you can see a very similar trend. 17 land parcels in Franklin County sold in 2026 and 4 residential waterfront land properties sold or closed in January of 2026. I talked briefly about days on market, and guys, we're seeing that days on market creep up. When we look at inventory, inventory was at kind of the all-time high back in October. Over 1,400 homes in October were on the market in the Greater Roanoke Valley, and we've seen things kind of generally, that inventory just trended down. We're at 1140 here in the middle part of February. That would have been down from 1170 in the middle part of January. So I think things trended down, and that doesn't, for me, it doesn't surprise me at all when you look at the pace of the home sales, and then you look at new homes coming on the market, people having interest in putting their home on the market during the Thanksgiving and Christmas, New Year's Eve, those holiday seasons. I'm certainly seen some things sort of slow down as far as new homes coming on the market. So we've seen that inventory number go down. Looking in a crystal ball, I would tell you, I think we're going to bottom out here in February, and I think we're going to see that inventory number begin to rise and continue to rise on up. I would anticipate over the next 60 to 90 days, we'll be back those 1,400 homes, similar to where we were in October of 2025. So it's kind of going to wrap things up here for this market update with the Kingery team and Mountain to Lake Realty. We'll look forward to catching you on another adventure in real estate. Until then, take care.